Welcome back YouTube to my another video. Today we're doing more picoCTF challenges and we're gonna do these easy general skills challenges. Just so, yeah, I know all the skills that are needed for CTFs and stuff like that, so we can start with log hunt. And just it says that in this log file there are flag parts scattered, so we can get the flag, get the server log, and we see that there are random debug like logs, so we can grab for pico because we know that's how the flag starts, and it says flag parts, so we can do the same but grab for flag parts, so we get all of the flag parts, not just the first one. And we see that we have these parts mixed up. Use your Linux skills, and this is the flag. Okay, the next challenge is called fantasy CTF, so we just need to connect to NC server, NC connection, and then there's the story. I'm gonna skip it, and here we can just register a single account for this picoCTF because we can't share accounts and play with friends. So here I'm gonna play the game. We are playing the game, and it says that we found the flag, and this is the flag here. Okay, that was an easy challenge. And the next challenge is called Rust Fix Me, the third one. So we just need to fix the syntax and get the flag. We have this folder we can go to. Then we have some configuration. We just need to go into source, and we have main.rust. We can look at it. Okay, so first let's try to run it with cargo and see what errors we have. We have call to unsafe function, requires unsafe function, so let's take a look at the code. So we use XOR cryptor, then we have the crypt function, we have the key, this value, the decryption object, and then this comment says what unsafe operations in Rust, and we can read this documentation if we want. Here is the example I code, but all we need to do is just uncomment this unsafe, because right now it's not an unsafe, it's just regular code. Okay, so we can do that, and if we uncomment that and do cargo run again, we have the flag here. So yeah, this was quite easy, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, let's do the part 2 next. So we just have to fix the code here as well. Okay, so I have already extracted. Let's go into fix me to, let's go into source, and if we take a look at the code, we see that it's similar to the previous code, but at this time there is no unsafe, and it says here how do we pass values to a function that we want to change, and is this variable changeable. So yeah, it's something about how to correctly pass the value into the function, and if we try to run this, we see that it doesn't work, as we get these two errors. It says borrow string is a reference, so it cannot be borrowed as immutable. And we can take a look at this documentation. So here it talks about what happens when we try to modify something that we're borrowing. So this is the example. It's similar to what we have. It doesn't work. It's the same error that we have. So we need to use mutable references instead of regular ones. So we need to do add it here, and also where we create this variable, and then where we pass it on into the function, and if we try to run it now, we get the flag. So we fix the syntax. Okay, and the last Rust fix me is pretty similar. So as before, we have pretty similar code, but this time we don't have a function for decryption. We just have everything in main function. So we have several comments, places where we need to fix some stuff. So how do we end statements? So we obviously need a semicolon after this. then how do we return in Rust? So it's not let, it's a return. And then how do we print out a variable in the println function. So we can look at this documentation to see how we print it out. So to print out a variable, we need to do format and then the variable. But first let's look at the errors. Maybe they help us a lot. So yeah, it says that we need a semicolon here. Here it says argument never used. So that doesn't help a lot. Yeah, so this is how we need to change it to. It helps. And it says that this looks like a rest, but yeah, it should be returned. So let's change that. Okay, so we can add these curly brackets here, return here, and then just semicolon here. And that should work fine now. Yeah, it does, we get the flag. Okay, next we have operative fun challenge called binary search. So in this challenge we need to connect to the server and just try to guess the number, and if we guess the number correctly we get the flag. So we need to use binary search for this, and if we take a look at the code, we just see that we have 10 guesses and the target is a random number between 0 and 1000, and if we enter a number then it says if it's higher or lower. So we can just connect to it, right, with SSH, this password. Okay, now we're logged in. Well, now we're in the game. So how binary search works is that we can take a look at this example. So we need to find the key, which is 23 in this array. This array is sorted from low numbers to high numbers. So the first step is to guess the middle of the array, so 16 in this example, and it says that the key is bigger than this, greater than this, so we move to the right side and we guess the middle of these elements, which is 7th element, 56, and because it says that it's less than that, we move to the left and we guess the key. Okay, so we're going to do that manually here. So the first should be 500 because that's the middle, and it says higher, so we can try 750. Higher again, 875. Now it's lower, so we can try, it doesn't matter really, we can try like 810, and it's lower, so we need the middle of between 750 and 810. So that is gonna be like 780. Now it's higher, so we can guess 795. Lower this time, so we can do 79, okay, like 88. That will be fine. It's lower when we'll have 8 options, not 8, 6 options left. So we can do 784. It's lower, so we can do 782. It's lower, so we know it's 781. And we guess the number and have the flag. So the next challenge is time machine. So we just have we need to find out what this person was working on last time. So yeah, we can look into its system. So we have this message.txt. We can take a look at it, and it says we need to look at my comment history to know why. So if we see hidden files, we see .git directory. So if we go in there, we see there is this GitHub stuff, and to see comment history, we just to do git log, and we have the flag here. The next challenge is called super SSH. So we just need a craft SSH command to connect to the server. It's nothing interesting really. I mean, yeah, we just need to change like we can just change from the previous challenges. And if we connect with the password, we have the flag here. Okay, and the next challenge is called NDNS. So in this challenge we need to connect to this netcat and then just convert from big endian to little endian and such. we can first take a look at flag.c, but it's very long and yeah, we just don't need to understand this because we don't need to reverse engineer it, we just need to connect and do what it asks us. So we need to have this word and we need a little endian representation of it. So I'm gonna use CyberChef to convert it to hex. And so this is gonna be the big endian. And to get little endian, we just need to we can use swap endian as in here or do it manually. So this is gonna be a little endian. Let's try it. It probably doesn't like spaces, so we can do it manually, I guess. So how little endian converts, or how big endian converts to little endian is we take these pairs of bytes and then change the order. So the first should be 77, then 76, then 6F, then 79, then 78. So let's try this. It says correct, so we can try big endian. And yeah, it works. We have the flag. Okay, and moving on, we have another git change, commitment issues, and it says that this user deleted sensitive files, like the flag, of course. So we have this message here, and it says top secret. Now if we do git log again, we see this newest commit was remove sensitive info, and the previous one was create flag. So we need to look at this one. So we can do git show and then this ID, and we see that to the message.txt this flag was added. Or we can also do git checkout and then the ID. And now if we take a look at the message, it's now the flag. Okay, let's do another git change. So this time we have flag.py, and take a look at it and just printing the flag. If we do git log, we see that there isn't any previous commits. So we can take a look at branches, and we see there is main branch and then feature part 1, part 2, part and 3. So we can do git checkout part 1, get this, and we have the first part of the flag, so let's switch to part 2. Cat, we have the second part and the third part, and if we merge these together, we have the full flag. So in this next change, we have the same thing almost. We have this message.py. If we take a look at it, we can't see anything. If we try to look git log, we see infinite amount of logs. If we take a look at branches, we have no branches. It says that in the description that someone's commit is breaking the code or something. So we can take a look at git code and then dash and the name. So these are the commits for this file only. We have 2 commits, and in the newest one we have the author as the flag. Okay, the next change is bin hexa. So in this change we need to do out of different basic binary operations. So we can't connect to netcat, we don't have any files. Okay, so we have these 2 binary numbers, and the first task is AND operator. So you can do this by hand or in Python. I will do this first one in hand. So how AND works, if there is at least, if there are both ones, then the answer is 1. So 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. That's correct. And now we have to perform a left shift by 1 on the first number. So all the left shift does just removes the last number. Yeah, so the left shift just adds an additional 0. do this. That's correct. It doesn't remove the right, shift removes. So we have OR operator. So if there's at least one number 1, then it's 1. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. That's correct. Now we have to multiply. Yeah, just multiply like normally. 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. Okay, yeah, let's just do it in Python. It's way easier. I'm gonna use Python in the command line. So we can do print binary, copy these numbers. We have to add a prefix. Let's add the second one. Yeah, so this should probably be the answer. Yeah, it is. And now we have the right shift. This just removes, but we can do it in Python also. So we have to do binary number 2. So let's select the first one. And let's do this. As you can see, this just removes the 0. And if we try this, it's correct. Now we have plus. So yeah, it's also pretty hard. So we can do it in Python. And this should be the answer. And now we need to do the last answer as hex. So we can do hex. Then we can turn this into int. So we also need to specify that this is base 2 binary. And we have this, so we probably don't need 0x. And yeah, this is fine. And we have the flag. Okay, next we have this challenge called repetitions. So we have this file here, encrypted flag. It looks like base64, so we can do base64-d on the file. And it looks like it's more base64, so we can copy this. We can go to CyberChef, or we can do it in the terminal. Yeah, so you can see it's more base64, so it's probably just nested. So we can do this multiple times. And we have the flag here, or we can do like CyberChef this, and then on base64 add a lot of this. And yeah, we get that. So the next challenge is called big zip. We have this very big archive, and with unzip we have tons of files, and we can use grep-r picoCTF on this directory, but there is this bug or something where just fills all of the files with this what you search for, but it actually isn't there. You can do this and just adds. And to do this correctly, you just have to like add any random letter after A. Then it replaces the picoCTF with that letter. It can be any letter, H. You can do anything. Yeah, I don't know how this works. But yeah, this is the part of the flag we need. As you can see, it worked. So that's fine, I guess. So the next challenge is first find. This is very similar. So we have this files.zip, and when we unzip it, it says that we need to find tubercgrep.txt, and we see it here. So we can just get it. I don't know what this challenge was about. I guess to like use, we can go to files, like do 3. Yeah, we can't see hidden files, so that's probably what this was about. But yeah, the next challenge is run me, and we just need to download the file and then just run it to get the flag. So yeah, I will not show anything more, I guess. Okay, now we have these two password crack challenges. This time I will do the first one first. Yeah, you just need to crack the password. So the first one is very easy. there's no explaining needed. So we have this code, it opens this, and if this is the password, then we get our flag. So yeah, I just ran this Python code and use this as a password, and we have the flag here. The second part of this challenge is pretty similar, but this time in the comparison we have this instead of clear text, so we can use Python to print this, and this is the password. And if we run the code with this password, we get the flag. Yeah, so the next challenge is called hashing job app, and we connect to the netcat, which just asks us to define these strings, and doing that with cyberchef and define recipe. So we have this hash, and if we submit it multiple times with different strings, we have the flag here. The next challenge is glitchcat, and if we connect to the netcat, we see this, just half of the flag, and the next this. So we put it into Python, and we have the flag. Yeah, nothing interesting here. And now we have another two challenges, fixme.py. So the first one is just the same description, so I have both images here. Take a look at the first one. So let's just try to run it and see unexpected incident. So we need to fix the white space here, and that works. And the second one is also very easy. So it checks here if the flag is not empty, but there's only one equal sign, so that's why this error shows. And if we change it to 2, we have the flag. This next challenge is convertme.py. So we have this Python script, and if we try to run it, it asks us what is 90 in binary. So we can run this Python command, and we have the binary, and if we enter, we have the flag. Yeah, these challenges are probably too easy, so yeah, the challenge codebook, you just need to have download the same, both of these files in the same directory, and you just run and get the flag. Yeah, the next challenge was monkey carp ground mission, so we just need to connect to SSH and move into different directories, so there's nothing interesting here. Just follow the instructions, and we have these parts of the flag. So here, the next challenge is tab attack. We just download a zip and unzip it, and yeah, just get this C file, and we have the flag in this code. The next challenge is wave a flag. So we just download this executable, and if we run it with -h, what it asks us to, we get the flag. The next challenge is called static int always noise. So the challenge we were given this bash file and then this executable, and if we try to run it, it says the flag is somewhere around here because we were given this bash. Let's try to run it, and we need usage, so we add the file, and it assembled it into these string files. As you can see, it's just object dump, so we can do it manually. And if we get these strings, okay, we get the flag here. That's just the same as running strings on it. So yeah, the next challenge is called nice netcat, and if we connect to it, we get these numbers and if we paste them into cyberchef, this is from decimal, we get this flag. Yeah, the next challenge is just sanity check. We just get the file and we get the flag. In the next challenge, to arm, we need to convert 42 to binary, and we have done this before. We can just run this and just put this into the flag format. The next challenge is called first grep. So in this challenge, we have file, and there is somewhere in this the flag. So we can use this to grep or pick up, but because it's a single line, we don't want to output just the same thing. So we use only match and then dots for any character. And yeah, we get the flag this way. Yeah, the next challenge is bases, and this is just base 64. and we need to put this into picoCTF format. And so the next challenge is warmed up. So in the challenge, we need to turn this into decimal but not ASCII. So first we need to turn it from hex to ASCII and then to decimal. And we get answer 61. Once again, we need to put it into picoCTF format. The next challenge is strings it. So we have this file called strings, and if we run strings on strings, and then grep for pico, we have picoCTF the flag. So the next challenge is just to connect to netcat and we get the flag here. And the last easy challenge is to convert 70 to ASCII, and we'll get letter P. And if you put it into picoCTF, then it works. Yeah, so I guess it's enough for today, and I will see you in the next one.